people, what's going on? Get this light out of here. Light there. That light's screwing me up. This light's screwing me up. Yeah, that's close enough. All right, we're back in black here. We got a nice video here. Another theory coming at you, straight out of Massachusetts. Gobekli Tepe, 40,000-year-old astronomical instrumentation, solved. I put the solved out there just to go over the top a little bit with my haters, and just bear with me. So gotta allow me these little moments of entertainment. Anyways, we have the purpose of the stone circles at Gobekli Tepe is to monitor the tilt and wobble of the Earth during the Ice Age. So basically we're talking about the Earth being in a very profound tilt, and that Gobekli Tepe was used to monitor this tilt. These stone megaliths prove that the Earth does go into a tilt like the planet Uranus, roughly a 90-degree tilt. That is the primary cause of Earth's ice age. So we're talking a pretty profound tilt. I mean, that would explain it. I think Milankovitch was talking about the tilt. I'm talking about the tilt, obviously. I'm talking about the moon. Actually is one of the driving forces of a tilt. Once we hit the water maximum, we had the glacial maximum. Now we're going to hit a water maximum. And along with alignments that I'm going to get into later on in the next video, with planetary alignments with the moon, is what is going to actually drive a significant change in the tilt eventually, and we're going to go into an ice age. So, I mean, this is normal. This is a normal system on Earth. This is the normal cycle on Earth. Interglacial periods, ice age. Or is it like Ice Age, amnesia, interglacial period, climb to the height of technological advancement only to descend to hunter-gatherer, Ice Age, amnesia, then back to interglacial. You can do it either one of the ways that you choose. Well, you can figure it out. So this is Uranus, but for argument's sakes, we're going to just look at it as Earth. As the equinox of Earth with the 90-degree tilt. We got 3 months here, 3 months here, and then 3 months. And so this is the North Pole here. This is in total darkness. Talking 300 some odd degrees below zero. Ice building mode. I think I might have to pan this camera out. I don't think I'm getting the whole screen, am I? I guess I am. Anyway, so that's a winter time, and this is the South Pole getting exposed to 300 degrees below zero. All right. I'm just giving you up front before we get into the stones. I want to give you a little visual up front on what exactly where we're going with this. So just bear with me. This is probably what the sunrise would look like if you were looking at the poles, if you were looking at the planet at the 90-degree tilt pointed at the sun, and that's probably all the sunshine you're going to see for most of the year at Gobekli Tepe. Not most of the year, for that 3 months when you're going around into winter time or coming out of it. For that sake, I'll get more into more in detail into this actual orbit. I just wanted to set up the foundation to kind of drive home the point of this theory that I have. So we have the T's. You get the circles on the outside. To me, these represent months of the year, and these are larger, profound seasons in those months. Maybe the wobbles, like you pick up a wobble, or just a tilt. So I mean, this is the you know, the absolute lunacy that was still being teaching all the kids today. Everybody's walking around with loincloths and sandals, working hard, you know, da 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 da. Oh my God, please help me. You know, it's just beyond everything. So we got you know, 20-ton stones, people with bare feet making them and pulling them around, putting them into sockets, and getting perfect geometrical alignments with the with this 90 some odd degree tilt that points at the, you know, like Uranus. Anyways, this kind of like represents the, you know, the opening of the sunrise, you know, and then the shadows have come from this direction. It'll lay shadows out. Now these stones actually work from the opposite direction too, because you're pointing, the sun points from this direction half the year, and then points from this direction the other half of the year. So that's why you have stones at different at all sections of the circle. There's another a lot of these pictures, but they're still, this was early excavation, just showing what they were uncovering. Must have been unbelievable. I don't know how these people slept. They'd be so excited watching this stuff. This guy was lucky enough to you know, find this. He's an archaeologist's dream, really. I mean, if you're an archaeologist, this is what you're looking for, you know. Klaus Schmidt was the lead archaeologist and historian that led the excavation at Gobekli Tepe. I just got over the flu, so my got chest cold, and you know, it's going on a month. If somebody tells you they got the flu, get on a plane and fly away from them as fast as you can, and as far as possible. But anyways, you know, a lot of thanks go out to him, a lot of gratitude. You know, put 30 some odd years down there or less. Passed on in 2014, so we owe a lot to this guy for you know, just putting his life's blood into it, categorizing, identifying, and you know, basically making the place whole as it is today. What's in the box? What's in the box? Seeds are in the bags, people. Seeds. When you come out of the Ice Age, you go into the Agrarian Age, and you become an agricultural society. You can make beer, bread, you know. We're not doing the hunter-gathering anymore. This is bound up wheat anyways. That's my opinion. You know, you can take it for what it's worth. But, you know, you get the Gateway to Sun down here, Peru, you get the Anunnaki. It's seeds, man. It's seeds. Now, this is telling us that our seed bank is up in the Arctic Circle somewhere, is in the wrong place. You know, it needs to be where the seed bag stones are. So when we do get out of the Ice Age, it won't be 6 miles under ice where all the seeds are. Just saying, just saying. You know, you might want to rethink the location of the seeds. Getting off topic, getting a little uppity here. All right, hunter-gatherer existence, pouncing on snow. So these stone pillars, tees, what have you. I mean, I've seen coyotes and wolves pounce on the hard frozen tundra out there, just trying to get a meal for hours and hours and hours, just to get a field mice to move, and so they can get something to eat. But this is the existence that humans are going to descend into. It's like Velikovsky said, you know, we're a species with amnesia, or Graham Hancock popularized it. But anyways, you know, that's all part of the descending into, you know, the amnesia zone. You have like, this would represent a month out of the year. Obviously you got this guy's his bones are sticking out, he's hungry. It's time to go underground. Like literally, some of these tilts and environments, atmospheric environments that you go through, you know, there's places all over the planet. They have underground cities, stone cities that fit 2,000 people in. I mean, we're digging holes and converting old nuclear missile silos into underground cities also. So you need to go underground. The mean temperature of the earth is like 52 to 56 degrees. You're going to survive. You know, there's plenty of, with the technology today, you could generate power with the differential, and if you catch a differential in anything any temperature differential, you can make power with it. We have the technology for that. So anyways, I mean, this is my take. These are my opinions. These are my theories. Putting it out there, trying to help out the cause for humanity to survive the next ice age. And these things are like 30 some odd feet high. I mean, these guys are like 6 feet, so 6, 12, 18. You're talking somewhere around 20 feet, 20 tons. They actually fit into a socket or another big giant slab down the bottom. They're well built. They're made to stand the test of time, stand earthquakes, and go to a very violent environment called the Ice Age. You get symbolism here, like the big the fingers coming around here. I'll leave that up to you what that is. You can figure it out. There's some more things here. We get the C, the backward C, forward C. You got an H in the middle. Who knows? I could just speculate all day long what they mean. I don't want to go off topic. I want to just focus on the functionality of the circles, the pillars, and the tilts that the Earth does go into during an ice age. Again, we're in hunter-gatherer mode. These are early excavation pictures. It's the famous Stone 43, where I was just telling you about the box, the bags. That means when you get into this zone, this world, you can plant. Now that might be a time of the year where you can plant your seeds. You're only going to get like 3 months of decent weather. You might be able to get a crop in, possibly. Just a theorizing. And the other ones are just get underground and hide. Very violent times on Earth during an ice age. Okay, so we got there's another thing, pretty just amazing stones, just amazing stuff. All right, this is north, going straight up here. This has a hole in it. Now, it's not pointing at anything right now, but if you think of the Earth going into a 90-degree tilt, this would be pointed directly at the sun for maybe a day out of the year, so you'd get your solstice or your equinox. Actually, it would be a solstice, I think. Again, these line up with the sun, and the sun puts the shadows off on the blocks. And like I said, you rotate it around because whatever's pointing this way, coming away from the sun's going to be coming in this direction, like I said earlier. Just throwing up some more diagrams here. Closure D seems to be the big famous one that everybody's focused on, and it's the handbag one. We'll get your seeds out, plant, and then do what you can. What else we got? We got these are the stone circles, 5 circles here. A and F circles monitor the shadows going into and out of the polar caps. Going into winter. So they, you can see you coming in, you catch a little bit of shadow before you go into total darkness. Coming out, you catch the shadow as you're coming out. And then you go full sunlight, and then these 3 circles will pick up. With B, C, D circles monitor the pole shadows that is pointing towards the sun. E monitors the shadows when the Earth passes the sun at right angles. So that would be our equinox, summertime, as we pass right by the sun before we go back into total darkness or total light. It's a little confusing. I know. Just bear with me. I'll drive home the point. At least you'll get hopefully you'll get some kind of a tangible explanation that you can sink your teeth in. All right, this is the tilt we're into right now. We get the 4 seasons, 23.5. There's the sun. We have Uranus right here. We have the moon zipping around. The axis is right here. It's going into the sun. This is the sun part of the southern part of the southern polar cap that's pointed at the sun. This is obviously the dark side. It's illuminated so you can see it. There's a more graphic detail, the latitudes, longitudes of Uranus. Now, what you have to put in picture in your mind is you want to try to, you know, look at Uranus as Earth and what it's actually doing. So this is, you know, these are pictures of Uranus, but I'm more or less segueing into the fact that this is actually going to be Earth when we go into these larger tilts. So we have the, you know, you get the equinoxes here, your big solstices, and you know, this is the Earth on the dark side, and then you'll have the Earth getting, the other side of the Earth gets extreme light, then it comes out. This is probably like, you know, stone 43, grow your seeds, you get 3 months maybe, and then you go back in and you're going back into total darkness again. So, you know, you're in the, if you're in the equatorial region, you know, you're catching some decent weather, but the storms must be unbelievable. I mean, we're talking about some extreme thermal differences from one end to the other, one season to the other. So in here seems to be the sweet zone. Killing my TV. So in here be the sweet zone, sweet spot rather, or the sweet zones. Let's see. These are the other planets that have some, you know, some profound tilts. And this is Venus. It's almost straight up and down. Earth 23, Uranus 98, Pluto 120. This is the this would be the Earth with the no tilt at all, which would be no seasons. It would be just one season. Every latitude would have is just same temperature for the most part in theory. And this is 22 and a half, and it's 23 and a half, you know, whatever. And this is what we're in now, 45, 60, and then the 90. So in Gobekli Tepe, they built like layers of these circles, and it's possible that they were monitoring, you know, different tilts going in and out of their of this ice age until they get to the interglacial, which is your 23 and a half degree tilt. This kind of gives you a visual of the earlier plot plan that we had. I rotated it 90 degrees this way to give you an idea. This is now the equatorial, the equator of the planet rotating, and this is true north. Now pointed at the you know, Polaris and the Northern Star, and this is the pole. This is the North Pole, South Pole, or South Pole, North Pole, and pointed towards the sun, going around, and you know, vice versa. So kind of, so if you can, you know, visualize the sun over here, you'll see that, you know, these things are relatively looking at that location of the sun for a particular you know, months or seasons of the year. And then on the back side, if you have the sun over here, okay, you're going to have the sun shining on the opposite side. So that's why there's stones all the way around, and you can pick up the shadows and you know, prepare for you know, a harsher winter or a warmer summers or what have you. This right here was probably pretty profound. If you were in Gobekli, Turkey, you might be able to see some of the sun, you know, coming up that high. But I don't think it's going to get that high. I think it just barely comes up over the horizon when you're going into wintertime, and you know, when you're leaving that equatorial region where the planet's close to the sun. So anyways, yeah, so if you get the idea. So you see those little tapers on the top of those T-heads, they're pointed at the sun. You know, they'll just, you know, 2 to 3 degrees. You're going to be looking at, you know, just a little bit of residual light for 2 or 3 months out of the year. Then, you know, obviously once you get into the equinox, you get the full 12-hour day of sun, and then once you get to the extreme perigee and apogees, you get the not the, was it, perigee is, yeah, apogee, yeah, apogee is furthest away. So when you get to the apogee of the elliptic, you're going to have either extreme 24 hours a day of sun or 24 hours of darkness. So it's pretty extreme. But that, to me, that's what these circles are doing. They're just they have you know, they've been there for thousands of years, and they're going to be used again when this ice age comes rolling back. So here's the moon. You got the Tropic of Cancer, Capricorn, Son of Man. This actually is a C-clip that's on 90% of the desktop globes on the planet, and is a, you know, an artist rendition. We're in a you know, 23.5 right now, and that's the 90-degree tilt.